There's something that happens to empaths the moment the news comes on. It's not dramatic. There's no breakdown, no tears, and at least not right away. It's more like a door opening inside your chest that you didn't ask to open. Suddenly you're not sitting in your living room anymore. You're in the rubble. You're in the hospital. You're in the grief of a family you've never met, in a country you've never visited, living a loss you have no logical reason to feel, and yet you feel it. Completely. If that sounds familiar, this is for you. Most people can watch the news the way they watch weather. Absorb the information, form an opinion, move on with their day. For empaths, it doesn't work that way. It never has. Because empaths don't just process information, they inhabit it. That's not a metaphor. That's neuroscience. Research into mirror neurons, the part of the brain that activates when we observe someone else's experience, suggests that some people have a significantly more reactive mirror neuron system than others. For empaths, watching suffering isn't witnessing it, it's borrowing it. The body responds as if the pain is real, because to the nervous system it is. So when you see a flood wiping out someone's home, your body doesn't quietly note the tragedy and file it away. It loads it. The cortisol spikes, the chest tightens, the stomach drops. And because the news cycle never ends, because there's always another crisis, another injustice, another image that burns itself into your memory, the loading never stops. This is why empaths don't just get sad watching the news, they get destabilized. But here's what nobody talks about, the guilt that comes after. Because empaths don't just feel the pain of what they see, they feel guilty for not doing enough about it. They feel guilty for turning it off. They feel guilty for eating a good meal on the same day someone else lost everything. They feel guilty for laughing, for sleeping, for continuing to exist in comfort while the world is on fire. This guilt is the second wound. The news delivers the first. The empath delivers the second to themselves. And so they're caught in a loop that looks like this. Watch, absorb, break down, feel guilty, recover, repeat. Day after day, headline after headline, until their baseline emotional state stops being okay and starts being bracing for impact. This is what psychologists call vicarious trauma. And for empaths, it's not rare. It's almost inevitable if left unexamined. Here's where it gets more complicated. The modern news cycle wasn't designed with empaths in mind. It was designed for engagement, for clicks, for that chemical spike of outrage and fear that keeps people coming back. The headlines are engineered to be impossible to look away from, which means for someone who already can't create emotional distance, the algorithm is essentially a trauma machine. You're not weak for struggling with it. You're sensitive in a world that built its media infrastructure around provocation and then handed you a device that delivers it to your pocket 24 hours a day. The problem was never your empathy. The problem is the mismatch between the depth of your feeling and the relentlessness of what you're being asked to feel it about. There's a concept some therapists call compassion fatigue. It's what happens when caregivers, nurses, social workers, aid workers burn out not from the work itself, but from the emotional weight of witnessing suffering over and over. They stop feeling, not because they've become callous, but because the nervous system reaches its limit and begins protecting itself. Empaths who consume news without boundaries go through the same process, except they usually blame themselves for it. They think, I used to care so much. What happened to me? Why doesn't this affect me the way it used to? What happened is that you hit a wall. A biological, neurological, deeply human wall, and your body did what bodies do. It protected you. That numbness isn't failure. That numbness is your system saying, I gave everything I had and I need you to stop asking me for more. So what does a healthy relationship with the news actually look like for an empath? It starts with a radical reframe. Staying informed is not the same as staying immersed. You can know what's happening in the world without absorbing it into your body like a sponge. You can care without making other people's pain a permanent resident in your nervous system. This requires what researchers call cognitive empathy, the ability to understand someone's experience intellectually without fully merging with it emotionally. It's not a lesser form of caring. It's a more sustainable one. Practically, it means choosing your sources with intention rather than scrolling until something breaks you. It means giving yourself a defined window for news consumption and holding it. It means noticing the difference between information that empowers you to act and content that simply overwhelms you with helplessness. Because here's the truth that empaths often miss. You cannot pour from a broken cup. The world doesn't need more empaths destroying themselves over headlines they cannot change. It needs empaths who protect their sensitivity fiercely enough to still be standing when their presence actually matters, in their relationships, their communities, the lives directly in front of them. There's also something worth naming about the loneliness of this. Empaths often feel like they're the only ones who can't just move on after watching the news. Everyone around them seems unaffected, scrolling past the same images, cracking jokes at the dinner table, living normally. And the empath starts to wonder if something is wrong with them. Nothing is wrong with you. You feel what you feel because you are wired to feel deeply. That is not a disorder. It is not dysfunction. It is a feature of the way you move through the world, one that comes with enormous gifts and very real costs. The cost today is that the world's pain finds you more easily than it finds most people. The gift is that so does its beauty, its meaning, its moments of unexpected grace. Both are true, both matter. So if you've been avoiding the news because it breaks you, you're not checked out. You're not apathetic, you're protecting something precious. The part of you that still has the capacity to care, to feel, to connect. That part deserves protection. The world will keep generating headlines. The cycle will never slow down and wait for you to recover. So the choice, the only real choice, is to decide how much you let in and when and at what cost. You're allowed to set that limit. You're allowed to close the tab. You're allowed to tend to your own nervous system like it matters. Because it does.